All right, so this is the Clans launch trailer, and it is titled "The Invasion Begins Now." I'm gonna watch it through and through with you guys, and then we'll go back and break down the trailer for all the little details. Let's make sure we are full send here. 1440, yeah, baby. All right, here we go.
We are Smoke Jaguar, true-born warriors selectively bred for war over generations. Our destiny to one day return from exile and reclaim terror will not be handed to us.
What clan dares challenge us in our home system?
It is not clan in origin.
How is that possible?
The great houses of the Inner Sphere know the secret location of our home world. Now, it is only a matter of time before they bring their never-ending war to our doorsteps.
It is time for us to move on. What of the other clans? Or we go for invasion? Now, we begin the first stage of Operation Revival by laying claim to the outer periphery. No more tricks, no more lies, no more holes for you and your rats to scurry back to.
You belong to Smoke Jaguar now.
Welcome to the 362nd, the Silver Jaguars.
You talk back to Sakon Weaver like a freebird.
Kill anyone who stands in your way.
This cannot go unpunished.
Fire everything.
Real MechWarrior should be combat ready the second they hit Atmo.
This world has been pacified. Prepare to rejoin the Armada. Ready yourselves. The true invasion of the Inner Sphere begins now.
One day you two will have to step up and decide what kind of future you're willing to fight for. No matter who stands in your way.
What say you, Star Commander?
Make Kaminsky look over your glorious rise, King Jaden.
We could use skilled pilots in the fight ahead.
Good hunting.
What are we waiting for?
We were made for this.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and also pause it here and bring it back a second to right here. Just keep in mind, it says October 17th, which is true, but it also comes out October 16th at 5 p.m. Pacific, which is 8 p.m. Eastern. So I will be here streaming it on the 16th. That's this Wednesday, coming up at 8 p.m. Eastern. I'll start the stream a little bit early. Of course, when this goes live, we'll be rocking it. So just sort of heads up. It says 17th, should say 16th/17th. It's a little bit confusing, UTC. Lots to break down there. My initial impressions. I like this trailer. I think this showcases what I thought was going to be one of the highlights of this game, which is a storytelling and a visual representation that we've never seen before in a MechWarrior title. And that also includes everything Battletech. So just keep in mind when I say MechWarrior, it basically is the Battletech universe. I don't think we've seen anything like this. It's also going to be from a perspective that's quite alien to the majority of players out there because it comes from a faction of the clans and Clan Smoke Jaguar in this case, and there's a lot to break down here. First off, we've seen a lot of tidbits throughout the lead up to this launch trailer. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and start from the very, very top and break it down and my thoughts and perspective. But just off the very top, I'm looking forward to playing this game, mainly just for this. It's one of those things where I think the gameplay is going to be very similar as far as mech combat to Mercs. So if you like that, stand by, because I feel like that's going to be it. Obviously with cooler toys, because Clan Mechs and Clan Tech and so forth. The new visuals, of course, are absolutely stunning, and we see that in the trailer. A lot of this is can be pretty much in-game graphics as well nowadays with Unreal 5 and all the tech that comes with that. So I'm really stoked about that. Also, keep in mind, we did see something about this will launch with DLSS 3 as well. So if you're an NVIDIA user, and I don't know what the equivalent is on AMD side, sorry, but I'm sure expect something just high fidelity as far as tech as well. But anyways, let's go ahead and dive in and break it down from the very beginning. And yeah, so. Okay, just that little tidbit too. Watch the animations on the Timby. I love the sound effects. Pulse lasers look new, by the way, versus how they did them in Mercs and even MechWarrior Online.
We are Smoke Jaguar, true born warriors selectively bred for war over generations.
Okay, so this kicks off. The one thing that you notice throughout this trailer is the presence in space. The clans roll back to the Inner Sphere with warships, which pretty much the Inner Sphere does have, but in not very, you know, as far as they're hidden and they're not really used. Warships sort of got phased out because, you know, war crimes. Of course, the first person we see here in voice is Kit Commander.
Selectively bred for war over generations. Our destiny to one day return from exile and reclaim terror with not.
Okay, so this guy, for those that don't know, is Kit Commander. He's like he's like your daddy when you're a new you know, clanner who is to prove themselves. The ship you see right here is called a broadsword. This is the equivalent to the Inner Sphere Leopard. It basically, for those that are wondering who are not familiar with the MechWarrior in general, basically going from space to ground, you have ships that are drop ships. Okay, and these can carry so many battle mechs, or in this case, Omni mechs, 5 of them, a star. That means 5 mechs. There's also other units we'll talk about, but that's generally its capabilities. 5 Omni mechs. And he mentions Terra here.
To one day return from exile and reclaim terror with not.
Okay, so if you're wondering what Terra is, that's Earth. If you look at the Inner Sphere and the map of the Inner Sphere, I'm sure you'll see this in the game. Terra is at the centers of the Inner Sphere, and they believe, Crusaders and clans believe it's their sort of birthright and reason for helping the Inner Sphere, bring the Star League back. Anyways, long story short, they want to get to Terra, and basically whoever gets there first becomes like the most important clan, the Ill clan. There's more to that than this, but
Our destiny to one day return from exile and reclaim terror will not be handed to us.
What clan dares challenge us in our home system?
again, another really cool perspective here that I think will play out in the game here. This is, I believe, in as far as the council chamber of basically the cons, if you will, the leadership of the clans. Each clan has a con and then saw con, basically like a secondary. I suspect this is going to be a council that where he's given a speech, and we'll dive in a little bit later when he mentions it. But this is something, again, we read in the novels, we've never seen in a game, and I think it's it's a cool perspective. Again, big old banners, Smoke Jaguar. We get to also see here, again, Matt Newman giving a shout out. That's his name behind. You can Matt Newman playing. So this is obviously him. This is the Hellbringer Prime loadout. It's basically what does Prime mean is stock. I've always had a special place for the Hellbringer.
What clan dares challenge us in our home system?
Now, this is a very important part here. That isn't the guy who's walking out. Again, this is one of your Galaxy Commander. He's talking about Huntress. Huntress is the Smoke Jaguar homeworld, and I think what you're seeing here is a little bit of something that Tex Talks Battletech just covered, which is the Inner Sphere, and specifically Comstar, Space AT&T, had sent out ships to try to find and locate, Kerensky and the basically armada he left the Inner Sphere with 300 years ago. Well, they found him, and they literally showed up on the doorstep of Huntress, and They use this as sort of a way for to help kick off the invasion. Be like, look, they now know where we live, and it's only due time before, you know, the Inner Sphere attacks us. It's sort of that sort of premise. That's what I'm going to guess here. Again, another really cool thing is seeing the space. We've never seen anything like this. I mean, we've seen a few hints at, you know, Mech 3 at like a jump ship and stuff, but these are warships. These are they fight other ships. You can see drop ships on them. These are drop ships. Those huge ships that we were talking about earlier, these are even bigger. And you know, where they can only fit 5 mechs, these things can fit like you know, 15, 20 depending or more. And then there's even bigger ones than that. So those are individual drop ships, and then you can sort of see here a bunch of different ones, and it's just really cool. So this is a perspective we've never sort of seen before, which I think is absolutely fantastic.
It is not clan in origin.
How is that possible?
The great houses of the Inner Sphere know the secret location of our homeworld.
All right, and there you go. And I think that's the premise here, is we're seeing on screen, you know, the Khan of Smoke Jaguar basically say they know where we are now. And of course, just like any history, they're going to use it as a justification to kick off the invasion, right? And that's where this little part right here of right before, I know I'm horrible at using the, yeah, right here.
Clan in origin.
How is that possible?
The great houses of the Inner Sphere know the secret location of our homeworld. Now, it is only a matter of time before they bring their never-ending war to our doorsteps.
This is really cool. Seeing the rifleman in its actual, like, what it does and does best. The rifleman is an anti-air platform. It's supposed to be, as far as the lore. It can also shoot against, again, you know, mechs and infantry and stuff. But seeing the orbital guns fire, seeing the rifleman fire, again, that paint scheme, it's going to come into play in a little bit. And I think it's fantastic actually seeing this thing in use.
It's time for us to move on. What of the other clans? Are we go for invasion?
Now, if you notice here in the council chamber, there are other flags. There's others. It's always so difficult here. I always try to like use the space. Hold on, I'll do it slowly here. Just maybe. I'm the worst at this. Okay, never mind. Anyways, you can see the other flags in the chamber. Right there. Steel Viper, and again, Jade Falcon, Wolf. I mean, you have all of them here. So this is, again, the clan council chamber where he's speaking to the other leaders. So that's pretty much what this is.
Clans, are we go for invasion? Now, we begin the first stage of Operation Revival by laying claim to the outer periphery. No more tricks, no more lies, no more holes for you and your rats to scurry back to.
You belong to Smoke Jaguar now.
Welcome to the 362nd, the Silver.
Again, this is one of those cool things where you're actually being introduced to a unit, right? You graduate, you basically graduated, you became a MechWarrior of your trial of, you know, position, and you're now distributed to a unit. And we've never really sort of seen that before, and I think that's a really cool take. Also,
62nd, the Silver Jaguar.
Elementals are here. I wonder if we're going to see them in missions. I really hope we do. It would be sort of, I just hope they're in missions. I hope you actually get to see them out there. In the trailer we saw, and the GDC stuff that we're seeing, you actually, you know, hear them entering a drop ship or whatever, and they get blown up or whatever. So, I would love to sort of see if we actually have elementals here. For those that aren't in the know and are wondering, their clans are genetically, you know, made in test tubes, if you will. These guys are in gigantic 1-ton armored suits, and they're genetically made to be bigger physically. Just think of like the mountain sort of thing on Game of Thrones. That's sort of these guys and gals, and they're monstrous and they're just gigantic, right? And so, normal human down here and these guys up here. Anyways, but these are super dangerous against mechs, specifically against Intersphere mechs as well. But they're close range. They can again wipe out infantry as well. On they're amazing. We call them, the Intersphere calls them toads because of how they hop around using their jump packs and stuff like that. But yeah, so at least we've spotted them. We've spotted them in a few trailers now. One was in a mech hangar walking, and now we have it here.
You talk back to Sakon Weaver like a freebirth.
Kill anyone who stands.
Okay, so let me play this really quick here.
Like a freebirth.
All right, that's actually an insult. If you're wondering, he says you talked back to the Sakon. You're talking like a freebirth. Again, the clans consider, most of the clans warriors are trueborns, at least that's the term they use. And that basically means they were bred test tube babies. Free birth is a slur, if you will, for free birth, a normal, like me and you, how we were born. And that's again, a sort of slur. It's an insult that is below them, if you will. So he's basically saying you talked back to the Sakon, which is like the second, it's like back talking like you're a general, and the general right below the main general. It's like you just don't do it.
Back to Sakon Weaver like a freebirth.
Kill anyone who stands in your way.
This cannot go unpunished.
Ooh, okay. So obviously there's a lot going on here, but look at this. Now, I'm gonna back up here. Look at this guy. So we saw this in the previous like game sort of trailer on the thumbnail, but they didn't really showcase the individual. As you can see, there's stuff going on his face. There's a thing the clans use called neural circuitry. It basically is helping, how do I say this without, it's basically technology that helps the MechWarrior and the mech become a little bit more one, if you will. Whereas a normal neural helmet, all it's doing is it's reading your inner ear, and that helps the pilot keep the mech stable using the gyroscopes, or throw the mech off, not be stable, so you can throw it off and use a sense bound. Anyways, the clans have been experimenting with neural circuitry, which again, my metal and man sort of become one, if you will. That's the sort of gist of it. It's very dangerous. There's also a lot of them go crazy because, again, you're messing with the brain, and sometimes it leads to psychosis and so forth. So it's like you'll see it here. Not all clan warriors do it because of just that, losing your mind, and it's dangerous. But that's what this is. You see on the trailer, you've seen a few instances of, you'll see of that neural circuitry. So again, you mess with the brain and feedback, and just it could be bad. But also, jump to the future, it's one of those things where you can sort of see where the tech goes, specifically Clan Smoke Jaguar on Huntress. That's another movie, or that's another topic if they go down that route. So
Fire everything.
okay, I'm gonna go ahead and assume this looks to be an orbital bombardment. F in chat if you agree that I don't think they're gonna make it. So one of the iconic parts in Smoke Jaguar and the Inner Sphere and then the Invasion is a little thing called Turtle Bay. And for those that don't know, this guy that you see here, and we're just gonna go back up here and play this again, sort of seals the deal about the history of Clan Smoke Jaguar being selected for annihilation, right? The Inner Sphere, when they reformed the Star League to fight back against the clans, specifically picked Smoke Jaguar because of one of these, and I think in this case, instances, and that's, yes, Perez from Beta Galaxy. Thank you again, chat. This guy makes a decision, maybe a little bit unhinged, to glass a city of millions. And now if you're wondering, Phil, that sounds like war crimes, you would be correct. You'd be correct. And also because of the previous trailers we've seen and sort of the instance that's going to be the sort of storytelling here is you're seeing that inside Smoke Jaguar, this was not cool to everybody. Like, this guy makes an order, his subordinates follow it, and the repercussions because of this few lines here.
Fire everything.
So I think this is Turtle Bay.
Real MechWarrior should be combat ready the second they hit Atmo.
This world has been pacified. Prepare to rejoin the Armada.
So that's my predictions here, is what we just sort of saw was Turtle Bay being glassed, and that was Draconis Combine forces running for their lives as the sky falls upon them.
Real MechWarrior should be combat.
Why do I know that? That's also a Panther, which is like iconic light mech of the Draconis Combine. Yeah.
Ready the second they hit Atmo.
This world has been pacified. Prepare to rejoin the Armada. Ready yourselves. The true invasion of the Inner Sphere begins now.
One day you two will have to step up and decide what kind of future you're willing to fight for. No matter who stands in your way.
See more neural circuitry. Whoa, great pause. I'm going to get to this guy in a second. We're going to talk about him. What I think is playing out here is that you're going to be tasked, again, making way into the Inner Sphere. The clans are hitting the periphery. I think your group is going to be sent to do some missions to help do that, facilitate that. And the invasion has already began. And this is sort of going to help them with storytelling, right? Which is, everybody knows how the invasion happens and goes down. I mean, it's pretty much a massacre as the clans come in. Comstar is basically, they're not working with the clans, but they're basically gathering info. And as they're doing that, they have a blackout. So no information is escaping the invasion corridor as they come in. And Comstar sort of plays their part, by the way. You could be like, well, that's Comstar helping. Comstar was not helping. Comstar was being Comstar and looking out for Comstar, in my opinion, about this. And again, if you haven't watched Tex Talks Battletech, he literally covers a lot of this that we're going over, sort of like what was going on with the invasion. Go watch that. Head over Tex Talks Battletech, just YouTube it. You're going to love it. But specifically, I think what you're going to be doing is you're going to be doing some early missions, getting used to the gameplay and how things work. And then what it's going to do is jump forward and you're going to start participating in some of the bigger missions. But I think how PGI is going to do this is sort of like any studio, even HBS, where they're telling stories that run parallel with the main storyline of Battletech. But they don't interfere. Like, it's not going to change how Turtle Bay went down. You're not going to change how that stuff. And I think that's a smart move. Also, it allows you to sort of tell your own story without having to interfere too much, right? And I think that's pretty smart. I do dig these neuro helmets, by the way. I think a cool factor here, neuro helmets, again, it's one of those things where the clans have updated tech. Clans also have full body suits, cooling suits. For those that don't know, when you're in a mech, that fusion reactor gets hot, and to produce the energy, that excess energy is dumped into heat. Mechs warm up, and in this case, you have the mech warriors can fight longer. They can push the mechs harder because they're literally not having to worry about passing out, right? So it's just one of those things where I dig the vibes. Again, the orange sort of hue from the lights and stuff. Practical, probably not, but it's a cool factor, and you got to give it to him on that one. It's sort of like that was it that fly scene with the new Maverick movie, Top Gun. It's like, yeah, you wouldn't highlight, but it's cool. So yeah.
This world has been pacified. Prepare to rejoin the Armada. Ready yourselves. The true invasion of the Inner Sphere begins now.
One day you two will have to step up and decide what kind of future you're willing to fight for. No matter who stands in your way.
So I think this is actually a really important part here. I think this is sort of hinting at, again, the inner workings and the clan warriors. I mean, sort of undertone there, if I'm reading it, which is, are you choosing to go against or for your orders out there? Or are you going to follow orders, or are you going to do what's right or what you feel is right? And I feel like this is the, when I did the podcast with Russ last time, he sort of said there will be some choices for you to make. And I think that's interesting. Again, you can see some neural circuitry there. They gave it a very, I don't know, sort of, I dig the sort of Tron sci-fi vibes there. It's definitely cool. I dig it. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. Oh, also, by the way, fast forward, for those that know a little bit of history, who betrays the Smoke Jaguar homeworld? Just saying. So it's not that out of place to see sort of, hey, these are actually people, and not everybody is cool with the decision and direction the clan is going. And, how's that going to play out?
Stands in your way.
Okay. Pause. Take a moment. The reason I say this is, look at this guy. Anybody want to take a gander? For those that don't know, this is not, well, he once was a clan warrior, but he's no longer a clan warrior. This emblem right here is Wolf Dragoons. A little bit of history lesson. Before the clan invasion actually kicked off, the clans were smart and said, hey, we need scouts, we need more info, we need intel before we go in there. We don't know the state of the inner sphere. We don't know if it's just been decimated. We don't know if they're all together. We don't know anything. So what we're going to do is we're going to send in scouts, and you're going to act like you're a part of the inner sphere. We're going to send in a unit to do recon. That element is called Wolf Dragoons. Wolf Dragoons appears out of nowhere, for those that don't know, with mechs that haven't been seen for 300 years and are kicking ass, taking aims, and that is Wolf Dragoons. Wolf Dragoons' mission is to collect intel on all the major houses, report back, basically find out as much as you can about them. As a mercenary, which is sort of ironic considering the clans attest mercenaries, but they do this, and Wolf Dragoons is tasked with it. While they're doing this, there comes a point in time where Wolf Dragoons flips. They basically stop reporting information intel, and then they start, how should I say this? They start helping and preparing, if you will, the inner sphere by giving them technical information. That means actual like equipment information and stuff when the clans invade. That means battle mech technology, so forth and so on. They flip. They see the inner sphere and saying, hey, basically we want to help protect. And it's a big deal. You can imagine someone with the knowledge of the clans, someone with the technical information about the clans, actual technology, loadouts, I mean, you name it, blueprints, so forth, the technology behind, from double heat sinks to weapon systems to battles, I mean, you name it, medical and everything. So what's interesting is he's in the trailer here, and that makes you wonder, where does Wolf Dragoons come in here? Is this a snapshot of the past of them making a comment of like, hey, we're going to support, the inner sphere, not, I don't know. I don't know where it's going to fall here, but it's really, really cool. And this particular individual plays a huge part in Battletech, and is sort of a historical figure. And yeah, so it's just one of those things where that's interesting that they put this in the trailer.
What say you, Star Commander?
Look over your glorious rise, Kid Jaden.
We could use skilled pilots in the fight ahead.
Good hunting.
What are we waiting for?
We were made for this.
Hello. Who is...
We could use skilled pilots in the fight ahead.
We could use skilled pilots in the fight ahead. So the question is, who is this?
Ahead.
Good hunting.
What are we waiting for?
Notice this is not the same outfit as
Pilots in the fight ahead.
the Clanners. I think you might be seeing Natasha Krinsky. I think maybe, and red hair. I mean, she is a little bit older. Wolf Dragoons. She's got the red and black on her outfit. I'm thinking, you know, I'm just saying, Jamie Wolf, from, you know, Wolf. I don't think it's part. I don't think Kellhounds. It's just one of those things where I think the Black Widow. I think that's who this is. So.
Good hunting.
What are we waiting for?
We were made for this.
Wow. Okay. So a lot to break down there. For me, again, going back, there's a lot of little details in here that I think hint towards. I think the storytelling is going to be absolutely fantastic on here. Something we've never seen, and also bringing some of these characters to life, like Natasha, you know, like Jamie Wolf, like. I mean, all of them, from, you know, the Smoke Jaguars. I'm wondering if we're going to see other historical figures. And again, this plays a huge part. I wonder if there's going to be throwbacks to, you know, the Wolves capturing Phelan Kell and the Kellhounds. I don't know. There's also what I really dig here is the storytelling here. It's raised the bar, and I wonder what DLCs we're gonna get. I haven't even played this game, and I'm thinking about, like, if just the level that they shot for, I think is absolutely fantastic. So everything I've seen so far, I've liked. I think it's gonna show a light of the clan culture. I think it's gonna be a little bit alien to someone coming in and be like, what do they mean free birth, or what is, you know, what's contraction, stuff like that. No, that wasn't a grid. That was the neuro helmet that she is wearing. It's like the face shield. It's not a grid. It's just part of the like glass reinforced or whatever it is, ferro glass or whatever. So yeah, as far as the trailer is concerned, I think this is a very good launch trailer. So kudos to the team and crew that put this together. Again, the game comes out October 16th at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. PST, 8 p.m. Eastern, sorry. And I'll be streaming it live on twitch.tv/NGNGTV. Again, come over, check it out. I will be playing it through and through. I'll have a altered stream schedule for this specifically. It comes out Wednesday. If we do Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and we're done. They also stated that there's 90 minutes of cinematics. Let me just repeat that. There is 90 minutes of cinematics in this. 90. Not 9 minutes, Phil. Is that what you're saying? No, 90. It's a full-length freaking film, man. So that'll be pretty dope. I think yeah, I think that'll be really cool. I think, again, we're gonna get a picture into Battletech that we've never sort of seen before, and I'm looking forward to this. So a video game and a movie. Let me order some popcorn. That's right. You can wishlist this on Steam. There is a pre-order, or there's a digital copy thing as well. There's some details. You can go check it out on the website. But as far as this trailer is concerned, I'm looking forward to this game. I've said I've been looking forward to a good story and storytelling and delivery of that story. That's one thing I believe Mercs did not have at all, and this seems to be stepping that up. So, yeah, guys, I will follow up with more stuff, so expect more footage to be coming over on YouTube of Clans. This launches in 2 days for me, and I'll be right here with you guys. So if you enjoyed this video, if you found it informational. Click the follow button, share it with your buddies, let people know. And of course, I'll see you over on the live stream. So please join us. Of course, totally get it if you don't want spoilers. But yeah, we'll be playing it live. So I hope to see you guys there. Until next time.